in OTSL League, this time again Graham Stock from United Kingdom. I play as USA +2. And my headline is rather straightforward. Dear viewers, do you think my content is too terrible and you prefer perhaps low level of play sometimes? Please share your thoughts in comments. By the way, how did you like my big mistake against Ronnie Jeter? This one about forgetting that DEFCON was at 3. So, okay, plan for the turn. Korean War, dump early and react accordingly. Arab-Israeli of the goal in space, the other one to hold. The rest of the course is not problematic, but maybe, just maybe, the game goes in the direction I will want to play nuclear test ban as my AR6 and hold Truman Doctrine. It's also possible that I will have to hold nuclear test ban until blockade happens. Okay, now it is somewhat problematic. Is problematic because what can I operate with? It's 1-1-1 and I will have to play the Korean War. So the first hope is that he doesn't roll high against Italy. He rolled high, but he decided to coup Iran. Okay. Not great, not terrible. Losing clock. Okay, I probably can't hold on this, so let's have it triggered. Unfortunate roll. Right. Let's threaten you. No, let's threaten taking Thailand. Lose a 90 on time. I'm gonna either board or think about my moves as well as he does. So the plan: lower DEFCON, go to Lebanon and Egypt before triggering Arab-Israeli war. take France. Try to secure Asia against domination, basing on the fact that Philippines, Malaysia and Indonesia cost me only 1 each. And after I take Thailand, I also get access to cheap Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam. Maybe going to Lebanon is just what I should do with Haidar. May get provoked to coup Lebanon, and even if I eventually lose it, still for that coupping, I make my moves. I reduce some action rounds of a turn in which I am purged, rolling against one stabs. Generally a good way to handle purge, and maybe this has just been scored, so it's of the lowest priority. But if he's gonna spend 5 minutes on move, even 4 minutes on move, he's not gonna make it until half mid-war. Unless he steamrolls me before. To go to space when I have time to space. I understand that some people may be slower than others, but I certainly can't afford agreeing to a 3 hours game. Okay, so he took South Korea. Yeah, pretty much predictable. Greece. And he wants to have access after East European unrest, or just prevent my domination by a bunch of countries, which I probably can't help. Okay, so let's start provoking him. Maybe it was the time to space the ball. Plan for the event starts looking not that bad. This I have to address. Ouch! I needed a 2 or more. I rolled a 1 when I am purged. This is really helpful. My next play, either Queen Vietnam again, or if he lowers DEFCON, nuclear test ban to Thailand, which is a more important country than West Germany now. So I take the risk of being blocked. On the other hand, if he takes Thailand and Laos, Cambodia now, fighting for Asia looks counterproductive no longer. Of course I make coup Laos, Cambodia. not taking into account his first Iran coup result. He's likely to dominate Asia one way or another, and I'm not gonna be able to stop it by the number of countries. But yes, I need meal so I roll another one. Of course I will eventually roll a 4 or more on my next move, which is gonna be a space race attempt. Damn, how tough this game is at the beginning. So Asia is lost, probably dead lost. And this is for a long time. Because it tends to be the most stable region throughout the game. Division. I'm leading now with 3 victories out of 3 games, so I have some losing margin. The division has 8 players, everybody plays each other twice. So 14 games to play. And as far as I remember, the 2 first places in each division advance. I don't like this move. Really didn't need to event it now. Oh, do you remember what I was talking about laws? Probably lower DEFCON if he keeps it at 4, because okay, he's gonna be able to coup Italy, but I'd like to be able to counter coup Thailand. Music. So I'd be totally bored. If he that slowly without music. So if he doesn't blockade me and doesn't secure Asia, I might put a Philippines. Oh no. Also have this. Okay, but this was a very weird choice. put this DEFCON level. Yeah, let's deny him domination. Okay. The engine forgot that it's not a space race, and I rolled another 6. And this is a rich hand, a very rich hand, and a very good one. And I should be able to even win some ops wars against him. Probably the whole hand is going to be played for operations. I can't see any event except this captured Nazi. And 2 main goals: secure Europe and defend Asia. He may play socialist governments and coup Italy. He removes my influence, 1 from Italy, 2 from France, and uses a 4 against Italy. Certainly wins. Gets the access to Italy first. Fortunately, this is an empty event, so he knows I don't have any scorings. I know he probably doesn't have both, but he could bluff us well or just blunder. That's also possible. The only 4 he can have is a Marshall Plan, and of course the China card. Keeping DEFCON high and making moves like coup in Vietnam has another advantage over some other moves. It gives him multiple possibilities, making it more probable for him to consume more time. Suez Crisis is the hold card or the blockade discard card. But in general, this hand fully compensates my previous hand. It has 45 points in total out of 8 cards. Taking into account that 49 is the highest possible result in the early war, and that I have only 1 opponent's card, which is actually worth -1 for me. That was an absolutely great deal. So Italy, and oh my goodness, he rolled a 6. Anything fewer would be great, but now I'm gonna get involved into Ops War. Come on, when I was rolling in Vietnam, I wanted to roll 2 or more. I rolled 1. When he was rolling here, I wanted him to roll 5 or less. He rolled a 6. What are the odds? Yes, I know he may have Marshall Plan, he certainly has China card, but at least a play like this is worth in the sense that he can't play Marshall Plan to control both Italy and Turkey or Spain or something like this. So he has to leave me at least 2 Mediterranean non-battle grounds. and this should render me immune to his European domination. I'm glad he doesn't have duck and cover, because his cooing Vietnam with duck and cover would be crippling. No over control in Italy. Oh, my friend, this is a mistake. Yes, I know he's dominating Europe now, but I'm ready to sacrifice 5 victory points temporarily just to grab European domination for the future. And yes, it was the case. So now slightly poorer card. I don't need full. Oops. I start walking to India and Pakistan. I set up some realignments against Thailand. I start securing Southeast Asian scoring and so on. Of course, he may cool out Cambodia now. But that's not a very big problem actually. US Japan to counter Thailand, hoping to roll decently. By decently I mean at least a 3 if he empties Laos Cambodia, or at least a 5 if he coups better than that. I should protect Italy by over-controlling it twice. I mean, protecting against socialist governments. This is gone too soon. Okay. Cool realignments. As far as I remember the realignment probability chart, couing is always has always better odds unless you have +4 modifiers or so, or coup 3 or more stat. And I rolled a 5, and this is a great roll. Now Asia should be secured for a long time. I lead by 2 countries, 2 more to be taken for 1 point each, and Japan is sooner or later American as well. So he may score 3 victory points due to battleground count, but he should never be able to score a domination here. East European Emirates. I certainly want a jump to threaten India. I want to take France. I want to secure Italy. And now what? If blockade discarding Suez is just some extra, all these great cars I had are not eliminated from the deck. Inventing Romanian publication? Ooh. Doesn't look decent, seriously. But okay. Italy needs a closer look. That one is at 3, it's gonna drop to 4. And CIA is in the deck. Plus there are some juicy African countries. Yeah, but this gives me 1 victory point. Plus, if he coups, I have a counter coup. Let's make it this way. One more here and one more here. He has slow. I have off scorings. And I think I'll dump Asia because he knows I have it and it's not gonna really get better. I may, however, fight for Europe. It's never gonna be better and it may be worse if he coups Thailand successfully. For this giveaway. In Europe, I need 3 more to get 2 more countries. He needs at least 5 to equalize it. I got UN intervention. Special relationship. I have NATO, which is unplayable and not worth triggering just to be able to grab these 2 victory points. Ops. Europe scoring. Europe should be dominated by me before. Yes, even with this. Unless he grabs France. He takes 2 from France and then puts Marshall there. But this is when I start Ops War. I mean, he has D-Star and the obvious target is Italy. But I have the China card, I have NATO, so I will fight back for France. After this combo, and he needs some time to use this star. I mean, with back on 4, it isn't really as effective as with lower DEFCON. So he needs to lower DEFCON and play it. In the meantime, I may use Ops to fight for France, and I have NATO, the China card, eventually Warsaw Pact, and UN intervenes Suez Crisis. UN intervenes Suez Crisis has a priority because it doesn't give him extra influence to destalinize front. Not that he needs it. 4 from Italy is just enough. God damn it, I should have secured France. On the other hand, if I had put one more there, he could as well get the goal. Headline of turn 3 and you have already used 25 minutes. That gives about 12 per turn. With this speed, I just have to survive until late war to win on time. And he can't claim and win because I'm the lucky one. He got party cards, he rolled a 6 against Italy when it was crucial, and my difference was between 6 and 5 or less. I rolled 1 against Vietnam when it was even more crucial, because it was deciding about his presence in this sub-region. The fact that he's no longer present here is only due to his completely misplaying things. He should have could lose Cambodia, or could anything anywhere else. Excuse me, lowering DEFCON to 3 and denying me a silent coup. Okay, I rolled a 5, but he really deserved one punishing roll after these misfortunate ones I've had before. On the other hand, the board doesn't really look promising. In Asia, it looks like it's blue, but he controls battlegrounds. Okay, Southeast Asia scores 5 now, and it's 3 ops away from scoring 8. Maybe one colonial rearguards away. I guess he's calculating how to play the Marshall Plan to deny both France and Turkey. I think this is impossible, my friend. Yes. I no longer need any more in Italy. So, let's start our ops war. Place a 4, I take Turkey and Canada and just control the damage. Cards he has: CIA, blockade. This is good, these are cheap cards. There's a bad thing, of course, that he has CIA when DEFCON is at 4. No real options of lowering it by 2 in a single play, but oh, a 2. Okay, in such a case I'm fighting for European domination. Of course, in this case he has much too much sources of points to decolonize from. On the other hand, this makes Warsaw Pact front play quite painless. If he then plays blockade on me, I can do an intervene Fido, or I can space Fido and save you an intervention for mid-war. Well, it may be useful, just to deny we will bury you, for example, or to get rid of one gunman. I could coup just to provoke him to use CIA, but CIA would be enough to take France if he used his op first. I don't think he's weak enough to just commit a CIA suicide just because he doesn't realize the card. After all, he has 1060 plus rating. This isn't established. I mean, he doesn't have many games. He has 4 games as USSR, 2 victories, 2 defeats, and 6 games as USA, 4 victories, 2 defeats. Actually, this is a rarity that a beginner has a positive outcome as USA and doesn't have one as USSR. USA is better side for the beginners because when an experienced player plays against the beginner, the experienced one should take USSR, and the beginner should take USA like +4 or +5, because responding to the opponent at the beginning helps understanding the game better at start, but this doesn't really pay off with good results usually. Four more cards to play. Formosa, influence, Libya. A weird choice. I should have remembered probably about his Formosa or not. Play 4. No, it wasn't, so I should have remembered. And he should have played it before the Cambridge fight, because I had the China card. And if he has Middle East scoring, this wasn't a good call, because this cost him 2 victory points for 1 more victory, 2 influence operation points for 1 more victory point, while Syria would cost him 1 influence point for 2 extra victory points, granting him domination. I'm afraid that if I coup, he responds with CIA coup in Lebanon and then electing me to trigger the event. I'd have to counter coup Lebanon, then he counter coups whatever I coup, unless it's Pakistan. Which isn't convincing. I think Angola or Nigeria at all calls. Angola is really better because it's now worth two battlegrounds, Angola and Zaire. Oh, so he did have Truman. So this is why he didn't want. To fight for France any longer. Okay, let's make it. Now it's worth risking. Because what was blockade? CIA and Middle East scoring? If it's so, okay, he gets a 5. I grab it back from Europe. But then he may easily get stuck with CIA, or at least have no military operations, and lose both African one-star battlegrounds. If he really has CIA, blockade and Middle East scoring, I think his best move now is to play CIA, coup Lebanon, and then trigger the event. Of course, if he rolls a 1, it's a crippling blow for him. Unless I roll a 1 against Nigeria. Locate and this, of course, distal. Forgot about it. But he still should have quit Lebanon before triggering the event. Interesting question, should I trigger Europe scoring? Or should I prevent him taking Zaire? Europe scoring. If he plays blockade, I space Fido. If he plays distal, I respond with force of up front quite freely. Probably to Mexico and Colombia. Unless he puts 2 in Venezuela. Or should he desalinize 2? If I were in his shoes, I think it would be 1 Zaire, 1 Venezuela, 1 Chile and 1 Panama probably. He may as well think Indonesia is a good job. Probably is, but not worth distilling. So, I will end the early war with +6 because in laps. Despite quite bad luck and a good position in Africa, despite him having bad blackouts and a very good Southeast Asia. Oh no, really? Okay, 2 to Venezuela were a good call. Argentina, okay. Taking from Romania instead of Italy is not really understandable here. France, okay, the goal was still waiting. Where should the third go? I think Saharan states. It doesn't create a real threat in Africa. Realigning on Algeria is not a big threat because he always can come back here. But at least it creates access to Nigeria. Possible coup. And the +1 realigning modifier in Nigeria compared to non-presence, which in turn is important because he doesn't have adjacency to Nigeria. Excuse me for a moment. Got some good hand. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing. 5-year plan is tempting. Is it risking some death consoles? No. I have Google Barrier, so I can't have for the grading deck. Is Japan Mutual Defense Pact? Something I wouldn't like to headline because I don't need to secure Asia in headline phase, and otherwise it's worth just one more point. I don't want to headline Southeast Asia scoring because it scores a 5 now and I hope to score an 8, or to defend against whatever he headlines, for example decal. One small step is an empty event, other cards are his events. So 5-year plan it is. I hope to successfully roll for space race, because I want to space 2 cards. We will bury you is one of them, of course. The other one is Liberation Theology. The goal will repair itself. Fidel has to be suffered. Comic-Con is painless. So regions to be scored, all except Europe and Asia. Central America looks nice. Africa looks vulnerable and it's probably going to be Soviet. Southeast Asia looks just great. Middle East looks very red, but that's a normal outcome of the game. The good thing is that now, for example, Muslim Revolution is an empty plane. South America hurts me the most. It's now only a 3VP for USSR, but can easily be more. That's great, he had headlined brush war and I had thrown defectors from his hand, cancelling brush war, although with defectors in his hand he could almost be sure that it's a safe play, and he really had some targets. Maybe not Thailand because it's won only at 6, but Angola, Mexico, Panama, Nigeria, maybe even Italy. I think he now has to coup Nigeria. I don't really see many better plays for him. If he does, I'm not really sure how do I respond. What's tempting me is to play US-Japan Mutual Defense Pact and realign Venezuela, and if it succeeds, Panama? I am not a very big fan of this move. He rolled a 2. Yes, yes. It would be just enough to control Nigeria, although not a great roll. Okay. Let's give Venezuela a chance. No. No. Yes. And no. It worked worse than I expected. There won't be second chance because I need ops and the rest of my hand isn't that great. So the next play is Comac onto Burma, Philippines and Indonesia. If he does me some harm, one small step. We'll try to repair it, then scoring, and then suffer other cards. We will bury a space race, regular repairing itself, Lipthiol space race if applicable, otherwise hold. Fidel last play for realignments, probably Angola, Algeria and Zaire. Of course, I assume he now takes Venezuela and Brazil. I think it would be better to play the China card and then... Come on. Come on, ABM Treaty for influence? on the board like this. I mean, okay, you probably win the domination in South America. Especially that I started rolling once again. Plus, I have no more backups. But I needed Milops anyway. By backups I mean cards I may play and just use them their ops for something else than repairing their damage. Maybe Fido. And just maybe the goal only because Europe has been scored and gone. And there are other regions. No, OPEC is for 5. This is hurtful. Of course, if Comic-Con saves me more than 3 in other regions in Southeast Asia, I won't be pushing there just to see Southeast Asia scoring 8 VPs. It's not the rarity contest. I think I should give up South America, mostly because I don't feel I can secure it in the long run. Even if I coup high, he may always counter coup the China card. So okay, it's a 6 for him, nothing really that could be helped. If I suffer Fiddle, repair the gone, maybe I can space Liberation Theology and save will bury you. I won't get you an intervention because I've played it on turn 3. But it's sometimes a great card anyway to trade 4 VPs. For 3 VPs for 4 influence points, operation points, and it's a good trap against Miss Lanvy from him, and he doesn't seem very experienced, so it may be a successful DEFCON trap. It's mid-war, so USSR doesn't have unconditional American hand size reductors. They come in late war. It's terrorism and Aldrich Ains remix. He has some conditional though, like blockade, and if he plays this for the event, I of course give him Will Bury You, because unlike the goal, Khrushchev can't make up for its effect. What was the third? Oh yes, Argentina. I completely forgot he had been there due to distal. Okay, let's put him under pressure. Victory points. It's really weird that with his hand size reduced with 5-year plan, he didn't play the China card to grab it with Cultural Revolution, but Cultural Revolution itself for ops. think this was a mistake about hand management. So I am close to winning this on victory points, but this is an illusion because I got rid of victory point sources. Other than some very lucky Africa scoring. So I'm not gonna push victory points too strong. I did it in Southeast Asia because I had to play the scoring anyway, and it literally can't be better than 8, which happened now. Four scorings to be left, so even though all the cards are nasty, I can't discard them all to Kennedy if it happens. Of course, the odds of drawing 4 scoring cards is very low, but this is so stupid way to lose a game that I just don't want to experience it. Blockade went for influence. Therefore, I may just keep rolling once for coup attempts. Again, was quite important to roll 2 or more. Actually, 2 would be a better result than 3. So Liberation Theology is an obvious space race card. Because I just can't afford giving him break to Mexico. And I want to threaten him with grabbing 2 victory points from space. Okay, oh, I didn't want to avoid discarding, so Lip Theo and the goal. Okay, I can afford discarding 2, and I can afford having We Will Bury You, even with Lone Gunman coming. Alliance for Progress, certainly not a good event, but I'm glad I drew it because I can keep it in the deck until turn 7. Come on, 3rd one in a row. in a row for a coup attempt. I really wanted to set up some realignment options after successfully knocking him off Algeria, which I'll try to do with Alliance for Progress anyway, because Africa domination is actually worth. Okay, over-controlling Nicaragua makes absolutely no sense. It's even hard to call it a mistake. It was complete misunderstanding of the spirit of this game. By spirit I mean what this game is about. Zaire is tempting, but knocking him off here seems more important. Although, okay, it's a 4. So Zaire would be a 6. No pushing VPs. It never ends up very good. This was actually better. Junta or duck and cover? That is the question. No pushing of the piece. That is the answer. USSR cards. 2 of them are very nasty, Decor and We Will Bury You. But one is spaceable, one is holdable. Arab-Israeli war is mediocre. Probably to Brazil and coup Venezuela. Of course, it's hoping for a 6. But the drawback of a really failed roll is significantly lower. Missile Envy, oh yes, this is what I've been waiting for. I failed a roll. I rolled 4th one in a row for coup attempt, but this is irrelevant now. And I felt very well to save We Will Bury You for Defcon Trap. Thank you for watching and see you next time.